Hello again, everyone. Ambassador Terry here with another year six. What are you doing? And my guest is Karina Lagarig. Welcome, Karina.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you for having me over. It's a pleasure to be part of your series.
Well, I'm glad to have you. You're doing similar work to what I do here out of the States in Spain, and you got a lot going on. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to hear it. So here comes the famous question. Karina Lagarig, what are you doing?
Well, Terry, for you to know and for all the audience, my mission is to make the understanding of this global mobility's emotional impact accessible to everyone, but especially for those that have the tools to influence and make a difference. Mental health providers, educators, and most importantly, international leaders. Because, we are entering a time where nearly half of the humanity will grow up and live in multicultural and globally mobile contexts. This means that global mobility is no longer an exception. It is becoming these new human conditions we are all confronting. And yet, our systems of care, education, and leadership are still designed for static and monocultural lives. I'm not waiting to intervene anymore. I'm done with doing that. What I'm trying now is to work on preventive and transformative projects that will help leaders and professionals to lead by example, creating emotionally safe and culturally responsive environments where people can thrive before the crisis begins. So I advocate for belonging and emotional safety as universal prerequisites for well-being and also for high performance, this very trending thing, right? And I truly believe that there is no one size fits all model, that every context requires sensitivity, adaptability, and cultural humility. So I'm doing that through research, training, and strategic dialogue. And I aim to reshape global leadership and mental health practices so that every professional, from myself and yourself, right, therapist to CEO, to be equipped to recognize the emotional cost that this mobility is having on us all and to be able to transform it into resilience, connection, and real growth.
Fantastic. And you got something pretty cool coming up here. I'm going to drop you in on. Won't you tell us about what you're going to do here pretty soon?
So, pretty soon, I'm going to be in Montpellier, just talking precisely about these emotional safety, the psychological safety kind of guidelines that we need to have, and how to create it in intercultural negotiation. So I'm going to be doing that in France up in November. Then I'm invited to the Canary Island to talk about sensory processing sensitivity because as I was saying, we are in this growing neurodiverse environment that we have more and more awareness, but we are lacking the tools and the training to confront it. So, together with my dear Michael Pollock, at the beginning of November, we are also hosting a workshop that is on the highly sensitive TCK. But, my friend Terry, for you to understand what a TCK looks like, we need a whole new session.
Home session for sure. Now, but is it third um, culture kid? Is it TCK? Yeah. So
That's what it comes like.
that in itself is a dialogue, and what it could bring moving forward. Now you're doing one in English and one in Spanish, I think, aren't you? Something like that. Maybe you can
Yes, I
expand
am.
on that as well.
Yes, so I have already performed a webinar that is accessible on my YouTube channel. If anyone wants to know what these best practices that I talk about are a little bit about. And then we have organized this workshop together with Michael Pollock on the 6th and the 7th of November. You can still register online. And we are also having this session, but alone with myself on at the end of November on the 26th and 27th when I'm returning from the Canary Island.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for stopping in, Karina. I love this. Yeah, I say this is great. She's doing some cool stuff. And it's online. So because you're in Germany or West Haven, Connecticut, you could still talk to her and possibly gain some assistance from her. So again, Karina, thank you so much for doing this. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for keep watching with us. Bye for now.
Bye, Terry. Thank you.